Hello and welcome to today's video. Today is a special review. I'm reviewing this pen. This is the Pelikan M1000. It's a pen I've wanted for a long time. Not a grail pen. I've got different theories on what a grail pen is, but a pen I have saved for because I really wanted it. I've had the M805 for ages and loved that, and I've used an M1000 a number of times and really wanted one. It is a big pen. It's got a big nib on it, and it's kind of like a birthday present to myself. As I'm filming this, my birthday's a few days away. I think this video is going live on my birthday. Next year is a milestone birthday, and I'm buying myself a very special pen for that. So I'd love to know what you think it might be. So drop that in the comments below. And let's see if, knowing what I've said on my videos and things over the years, if you can guess what my pen will be for my birthday next year. But today we're looking at this one, the Pelikan M1000. I got it in the green stripe because when I think of the M1000, that is what I think about. So we're going to do a standard review, parts, features, writing sample, all of that kind of stuff. Let's get started. Thank you for joining me on today's review of the Pelikan M1000. So as I said, this is a special review for me, the Pelikan M1000. Comes packaged cardboard sleeve over a nice cardboard box. Little latch on the front there, you open it up, it says passion, and then you get the little bit of information and stuff, little sleeve, and the pen lives in that. The M1000 is a big pen. Like I have the M800 here. You can see it's noticeably bigger there than the M800, which is also not a small pen. So let's talk about the parts and features of the M1000. On the top, we get the Pelikan logo sort of lasered on the top there. It used to be done differently. That's how it is now. You get the Pelikan little crown, which I quite like. And then the very famous Pelikan clip, which is designed to look like a pelican with the bill and all that kind of stuff. The nice black resin or plastic cap swells ever so slightly to these two gold bands. This one says Pelikan Souverain Germany. And then there's a little step down onto the barrel, which is the green stripe. This is the newer version, so it's not the translucent version, unfortunately. That continues along, and then you get two on the piston knob here. You get two little bands, and then the black piston knob. I'll talk a little bit about the filling system in just a minute. The cap unscrews in less than a turn. It's like 3/4 of a turn, which is so great, but it never feels like it's loose or that it's not secure, which is very nice. Nice threads, and then a thick section which has a little flare on it, and this awesome 18 karat gold nib, and I said I have it in the fine. It's two-tone, so it's gold and silver, and then this massive feed on the back there. As I said, it is a piston filling fountain pen. I won't operate the filling system now, seeing as though it is filled with ink, but I'll show it here with a TWSBI Eco because it's more or less the same concept. So the idea is that you've got a little piston behind with a piston knob on the end, and as you turn that piston knob, the piston runs up and down in the pen. You put it in a bottle of ink, submerge the nib, and then when the piston's at the bottom there, you draw it up and it fills the pen with ink. The Pelikan piston mechanism is sublime. It's smooth. It gets a decent capacity. This is about 1.35 milliliter on the M1000. So not huge, but decent. But yeah, very nice system to use. And that is the basics of the Pelikan M1000. This is a grand pen. It is a beautiful pen. And so when I say the basics, there's nothing basic about it. This is a wonderful, wonderful pen with a great nib. It's a flagship pen for a reason. Okay, size comparison, Lamy Safari, M1000, M805. You can see it's bigger than the 805, it's much bigger than the Safari. This is a good sized pen. It's not a huge pen, but it is definitely on the larger pen side. Uncapped, you see how big that nib is. Like the nib on the M805 is roughly the size of a number 6 nib, and so the M1000 here is roughly a number 8 size nib. Massive nib, big pen. The Pelikans do post, and the M1000 posts quite nicely. It becomes a big pen. You see it's much longer there than the Lamy Safari, but it does post securely and quite comfortably. So let's talk about the dimensions here of the Pelikan M1000 fountain pen. It's 146 millimeters when it is capped. It's 136 when uncapped. It is a great size in the hand. It's, as I said, it's slightly oversized, but it's incredibly comfortable. It's 176 when it's posted. I don't write with it posted. I find that to be a little long for my particular writing, and I find this unposted length to be very comfortable in the hand. I prefer to write with most pens unposted, but this one, that extra length, it feels good. The section is about 12 millimeters around the middle of the section there, and around the cap is about 16 millimeters. The entire pen weighs 34.5 grams, 25 in the body, 9.5 in the cap. So if you do decide to post it, the balance is perfectly fine. Like, it's not back weighted at all. But I find that 25 grams in this pen, this is a very nice pen to write with. As I said, in capacity, about 1.35 milliliters on that piston. So pretty darn good. Okay, let's do the writing sample. I have Clairefontaine 90 GSM paper here, and we have the Pelikan M1000. This is from the Souverain series, I think it's how it's spelled, from Pelikan, which is like their very much premium line, the equivalent of like the Meisterstück line from Montblanc. This has an 18 karat gold fine nib, and the ink I have in this today is Diamine Canal Side from the 160th anniversary set. I love this ink, and I love this ink in this pen. I've had a Van Diemen's ink in here. I've had Robert Oster inks in here. This one, amazing. I should say, in the time I've had it, I've written this pen dry twice. So it is a wet pen, so it writes with a lot of ink, and it's a very broad fine, but I love this pen. That skip there was me not lining the nib up properly. You don't get that with this pen. This is, you know, it's a cracking pen to write with. Reverse writing is so smooth. Drier and finer, of course, but yeah, perfectly fine. This is a slightly springy nib. This is not a flex nib. It is not a soft nib. It's just springy, and it gives you lovely personality in your writing. It's wonderful. And it's quite wet. It is a wet writer. So no issues with flow or anything like that. Let's do some quick writing. Think that was me once again, not the pen at all. This, as I said, these Pelikan pens, they write well, and it's certainly not a flow issue. Quick writing, slow writing, slightly springy writing, whatever you want to do, this pen can match it. And you know, I just want to quickly say here, for me, I get pens I can write with. I get pens I want to write with, that I'm not buying expensive pens here to have them sit in a drawer or on a shelf. I buy these pens because they're pens I want to write with. I have written this pen dry twice, and I've had this pen for a month and a half. So I've written a lot with this pen. This is a wonderful pen to write with. This is not a cheap pen. In Australia, sort of the recommended retail is around $1,250. You can often get it a little bit cheaper on sale. And I certainly went out of my way to find the best price for it that I could. 1,250 Australian is expensive for a pen. That's 800, it retails for about 850, 860 US dollars. I've always loved writing with the M805. This is a wonderful, wonderful pen in the hand. It is a generous, wet flowing nib, but this M1000 elevates that all to the next level. So expensive, but one of those pens where you feel the value of what you have in your hands. So let's talk about the pros and cons. Cons, let's just say the price. The price of the pen has gone up a lot in the last few years. The price of gold is skyrocketing, all of that kind of stuff. So keep an eye out for specials, for, even buy it secondhand if you can. The vintage, or not even vintage, the secondhand versions of this pen, if it's been well maintained, will be sublime. I don't love the fact that they changed the material so you can't see through the material. With no ink window, you have no idea how much ink is left in this pen. That's an element of the pen, like with the, once again, the M805 that I really like, is that I can see the ink level. I can see the piston operating. You can't with the new material that has been used on the pens. Everything considered, there's a lot of pros here. The size, it's incredibly comfortable. It's a lovely pen in the hand. It's not too big. I think this feels more comfortable to me than something like the Mont Blanc 149, which I also love and love writing with. But the size of this, it's just a little bit more usable for sort of everyday writing. I love the mechanism of the piston. It's so smooth, it works so beautifully, and that's great for cleaning as well. It's got a wonderful, wonderful 18 karat gold nib, like one of the nicest nibs that I've certainly ever used. It is smooth, it's wet, it's generous, it's consistent and reliable. A little bit of spring in it. It's not a flex nib, but there's a nice little bit of gentle spring. More so than the suspension I feel on like the Pilot 823 nib. This feels more springy, and it's beautiful. The other thing is when you post it, the balance is fine, if that's what you want to, how you want to write with it. But without, this pen in my hand, it's just beautiful. It feels right. And then also, when you buy a pen like this, you are buying something of a bit of a status. It's like the Mont Blanc 149. It's a pen I am really, really glad I own. So thank you for watching today's review of the Pelikan M1000. I hope you found this video interesting and useful. Please like and subscribe, hit the notifications button, all that kind of good stuff. It all helps the algorithm and helps me to continue to make these videos for you. I make a small amount of ad revenue for these videos, and all the money I do make from this channel goes directly back into the channel by purchasing items that I can review for you. If you'd like to support the channel in another way, please get in touch. There's lots of ways you can. In the meantime, enjoy your pens, enjoy writing, and I'll talk to you soon.